And Dan, let me ask you a question here. Can I take a few hours on this? Can I call my great grandmother, my cousin? Is it like you want this to be done in 10 seconds or less? These rules were a bit for me. I'm a big picture guy. Help me understand how long can I take just on this one decision?
Welcome to Experience Points, presented by our friends at Avtex who transform customer experience through CX design and orchestration. On Experience Points, contestants earn points by answering customer experience questions and share their insights on how to make your interactions remarkable. Those points turn into dollars for the charity of their choosing. I'm Joey Coleman.
And I'm Dan Gingiss, and we'd love to introduce you to today's contestant.
He is an in-demand expert on small business success, a global keynote speaker, event host and MC, serial entrepreneur, and the best-selling author of not one, not two, not three, but 4 books. Most recently, Celebrity CEO, How Entrepreneurs Can Thrive by Building a Community and a Strong Personal Brand. Let's welcome to the show the one and only Ramon Ray. How you doing, Ramon?
Dan, I am amazing. I'm honored to be here, excited to be here, and happy to be here. Joey, thanks for having me, and ready to win some money and have some fun. So thank you. I feel great.
Oh, it is our pleasure to have you here, Ramon. And we know you're going to be playing for a very special organization today. Can you tell us a little bit about who you'll be playing for and why you've decided to try to win some money for them?
Sure. Many of us are very blessed, Joey, as we can imagine, to be successful and well in life as of today. We've all had hard knocks, but there's a big segment of our population that just following a rough time, didn't have the training, didn't have the support, didn't have the mentorship, whatever it is. So NPower, and there's many organizations like that, but NPower is my favorite charity of today, which trains young people and helps them get tech slanted. So not leadership, not mindset, but tech field, trains them for I think 6 months, give or take, and then helps them find a job. So that's what NPower is, and that's who I'm fighting for, championing for, whatever terms you and Dan will use today.
That is awesome. What a fantastic cause. And Ramon, we are rooting for you to earn lots of money for NPower today. So now that we know who you're playing for, let's get into the game. Today we're going to be playing Fake or Fact.
In Fake or Fact, examine 3 similar experiences. Some are real, some are not. Your task is to determine the fake from the fact. Each experience correctly detected is worth 100 points. 3 correct answers will earn you 200 bonus points for a possible score of 500 points.
Are you ready to get started?
I'm ready, Joey. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
All right.
All right, Ramon. As the great English poet Alexander Pope once wrote, to err is human. But what happens when brands find themselves in an awkward position? Every day, small, medium, and large companies end up in unforeseen circumstances that require a response. And while these situations can be frustrating and embarrassing, they also create an opportunity for a memorable experience. Now, we're going to show you 3 awkward brand moments for you to consider. I'll share all 3, and then we'll come back to them, and you get to decide which ones are fake and which ones are fact. You're going to see all 3 first. Here's our first awkward situation. A company out of the UK called ASOS, which is a fashion company, accidentally printed a mistake on their bags. You might see that the word online has a typo there. Instead of throwing the bags away, they decided to turn it into a promotional opportunity on Twitter, saying that they're going to call it a limited edition. The second example was McDonald's reacting to the Stephen King It movie that happens to have a clown that looks remarkably like Ronald McDonald. And so they tweeted out, well, this is awkward. And the third example is from an alcohol delivery company called Drizzly that inadvertently sent a marketing email to its customers that was completely blank and had phrases like lorem ipsum, which I'm sure you know is Greek text, even though it's not Greek, throughout the entire email, and so then had to send a follow-up email that blamed it on the dog. Okay, so you've seen our 3 examples, Ramon. Let's go through them one at a time, and you decide whether each is fake or fact. The first one was the UK brand ASOS and their mistaken bag that they turned into Twitter Gold.
So here's my thought process. Of course, I'm taking all three of them together, and I have an inkling with which one I think. I think I'm going to go with a fake one. I can hear the crowd cheering as I say this. This sounds like this company. I think it was a bag company, the one with the typo in there. I could see that happening. That's a playbook at a Dan or Joey or, customer. Hey, are we going to throw away 1 billion bags, whatever it was? So I'm going to go and say that's a fact. That's my reasoning.
All right, I like that. Very good. And Joey, he thinks we're behind this. I don't know. But as it turns out, you are correct. That is a real tweet that came out from ASOS. And look at what happened underneath, Ramon. I mean, if only we could get this on our tweets. 8,600 retweets, almost 45,000 likes, all because the company was willing to be a little bit self-deprecating and admit to an error, which I think is just absolutely fascinating. All right, great job. You're off to a terrific start. Let's talk about some clowning around here. McDonald's taking exception to a movie coming out that features a clown.
Okay, here's the thing, Dan. Let me just. I have to get this right, so I'm going to try to look at you and Joey's faces to see if I get it. But Joey's only smiling. He's not even going like this, so I get a hint. He's not even, secretly hinting. So here's the thing. If this was Burger King, absolutely yes, it would be true. Or Wendy's, I think. Well, those are the two brands that do that kind of weird stuff, right? Chick-fil-A, maybe, but they're kind of only cow or beef or whatever it is. That's all they do.
Taco Bell, possibly?
Yeah, Taco Bell, another one. Yeah. McDonald's, see, this could be. If I get this wrong and you say it's true, Dan, I won't be surprised. But it's just McDonald's is a fun brand, but yet they seem like a very cautious, they have a limit to the fun they do. So with that, how the look and the kids and scary. So Dan and Joey, I'm going to go with fake.
You're correct. It is fake. We made it out.
Right.
And actually, I don't know if you remember, but I spent some time working at McDonald's, and you're absolutely right. And I attributed it actually because most of my career I worked for brands that were in second, third, or fourth place. And I think those follower brands are the ones that seem to have a little bit more license to play around. But then when you are that number one leader brand, you got to be a little bit more serious. And absolutely, that was the way that McDonald's operated. So great job. Hey, Ramon, you are 2 for 2. Let's get this last one right and get those bonus points for NPower. We got Drizzly, the alcohol delivery company. Did they actually send out an email that was completely blank and then blame it on the dog?
So this is not my answer. What is it? Family Feud or one of those. You have to be careful legally what you say. I don't want you to pull the plug and say that was it and show it. No, not yet. But I'm leaning towards yes, it was true. But let me just talk through this a minute here. We've all done it. It's a highly plausible. Big companies have done it. It's plausible. We all know what the Lauren Ipsala, whoever that dude was. That's impossible. Beer company, like I said before, McDonald's, right? That seems like an edgy, the Drizzly, the Bear. Clearly they're a company that pokes fun, doesn't take themselves seriously. Yes, I'm going to lean here, Dan, that I think it's a fact. I can see this kind of company doing that and saying, oh, we made a mistake. Probably not even firing the employee, just laughing with it, but don't do it again or you will be fired. So I'm going to say it's a fact. That's my vote.
Ramon, not only is it fact, and you are correct, but the email that we sent to you, this is what started. Let's get the party started. Okay. Name. The actual email said things got personal, and then there's your list of products with the lorem ipsums and the dollar signs. But the subject line of the email that we showed you was actually LOL, WTF was that? And that was this email, which was very much real. Great job. Man, we couldn't pull one over on you if we tried. Awesome work.
Thank you, Dan and Joey. I'm excited. Thank you.
I often feel that when we make mistakes, it's really about what happens next. And that's the opportunity for the experience. And, I have worked at companies that don't ever want to admit a mistake because they're afraid of the PR department is worried about the bad press. And now today, there's lots of examples of brands that come out and own the mistake even before customers know about it, right? Hey, we know our website is down, but we're working on it, don't worry. The PR department hates that because they say, well, why are you telling everybody? There's lots of people that don't know the website is down. But the customer service team loves that because it means that people aren't going to call since we've already told them that we know that the website is down. And so to me, it's just really good business. And I think that these companies, the two that were real, I think both did a really great job, as Joey said, of making lemonade out of lemons. And I'm just curious to know, because I don't know if you really knew or were knew a lot about either of those brands, ASOS or Drizzly, but how do you feel about them now? Even if you're not a customer, you didn't know about them, like what's your feeling on them now that you've seen those real mistakes and how they reacted?
Oh, massive amount of trust and transparency. So let's say they decided to have a car delivery service or packages or something very urgent, medicine for my grandmother, something. I would trust them. And it's a weird thing, and you and Joey can unpack it better than what I'm trying to say because it goes back to mindset. But it's kind of like if they owned up to this silly thing or they owned up to that, they're a fun company. That's cool, right? We kind of like fun. I trust them. But if it was something serious, they would probably go, quote unquote, hell and high water to make it right. It just, for some reason, whatever you're selling, I'll buy it.
I love it. I love it, Ramon. Absolutely. And I think the interesting thing here is, and you touched on this, is that mindset of the employees and of organizations of what are we going to do when things don't go the way they're planned. My buddy Clay Hebert and I do a tag team keynote where we talk about carpe defect. And the premise behind carpe defect is turn your mistakes into your marketing. Don't let something that's gone wrong turn into a situation that you don't capitalize on. But I think one of the pieces of that puzzle is how do you create a culture where your employees are okay with mistakes? I know you work with a lot of businesses around the world. You advise a lot of businesses. Could you speak a little bit to how you can empower your employees to recognize that mistakes happen and make the most of them, as opposed to having it turn into some type of a retribution situation where every employee is so scared of making a mistake that they won't do anything creative?
Let's say I'm working for Dan, let's say, using this example as we're all here. I'm working for Dan, and I do probably a major screw up. Not fatal, the company's, but a major screw up where you have the right, Dan has the right to say, Ramon, you're fired or something like this. Instead, in front of everybody, he's like, dude, it's all good. You know what? You made a mistake. You lost 10,000, 20,000, something that, is not human life or something. That's cool. No problem at all. So I think that's how it does, because when they see the big boss, the jefe, whatever it is, right? Meaning giving some latitude or complimenting you tried the experiment, everybody would do it. There have to be some guidelines, but I think with reasonable people you hire, starts with hiring, you'll do that. And I think if I may just do one more thing, I think I've learned that I used to work for a marketing automation company, and similar thing, you could just tell it started from the top. But as I walked into the event, even the most junior person, hi Ramon, welcome, because I knew that's the attitude of the big dog.
I love it. Just don't do it again, okay?
Yes, Mr. Gingiss.
You can lose my money once, but the second time I'm not going to be nearly as understanding. All right, Joey, let's recap how Ramon did playing Fake or Fact.
Well, in this game, correct answers are worth 100 points, and Ramon answered all 3 questions correctly, which means he earned 300 points. Now, he also triggered the bonus of 200 points for getting every question in Fake or Fact correct. These points convert into dollars, which means Ramon earned $500 in a donation to NPower. Congratulations, Ramon.
Thank you so much. This is exciting, and I think it's exciting because I know they're going to do well with it, and the kids are going to benefit. So thank you, and thank you to our amazing sponsor who's making this all possible. Thank you.
This concludes this episode of Experience Points. Check out more games with Ramon and our other celebrity contestants at experiencepointsgame.com. That's experiencepointsgame.com. We'll see you soon for more remarkable experiences here at Experience Points, powered by Avtex.
As you've worked with our clients and helped them, we talk a lot about North Star, right? Your brand personality kind of falls from that, as part of the tail. Who do you see as responsible for the brand personality of an organization and defining what that is?
Well, yeah. So that's a great question. I think that brand personality, in the definition of it, and then I would say the orchestration of it, needs to fall on the marketing leadership and the customer experience leadership, primarily, with the rest of the leadership coming into alignment with that. And in particular, the reason I say both marketing and customer experience is because we know that organizations today are spending more money on customer experience as their primary brand development vehicle than they are in other traditional marketing spend areas. And so making sure that marketing and customer experience are aligned on what that brand personality is and how we want to reflect it in different communications, different circumstances, different interactions is important.